Pisces, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Thursday, February 10th. And today, the moon in Pisces aligns with Chiron in Pisces all day. So Chiron in Pisces just attracts me because I'm all about the light side of life and healing and psychological exploration and not being bound to psychological restriction, but moving forward and away from just any sort of energy that wants to suppress our potential. And to me, whenever I see the moon and Chiron aligning in Pisces, I think of a release of psychological suffering. I think of an emotional alignment with who we are, what we've endured, and the knowledge that we've received from that part of our lives where, to me, the most growth I've had, and it's not always easy to talk about, but every time I struggle psychologically or externally, I feel like I grow the most. And even though I hate the times that I go through it, and the pain is insufferable to me, and the psychological battle that I go through when I'm going through it, I've noticed over the years that it's built the me that I am. And I have such beautiful, loving respect for that now. That every time now I go through something, as I look at it from the overall perspective, I know that at some point there's some sort of expansive idea or expansive opportunity that's going to happen because I endured what I endured. And so in this energy, I think your emotions today are going to be a wonderful gauge for you to help you understand how you're processing your unconscious thought process. The biggest battle for me personally is I idealize everything. I look at the light side of life. I see everything as, potential, and I just walk along a little freaking cloud. And then reality strikes and I get slapped, and that's just because I just have my Neptune is in such an idealistic part. It's in my 6th house. It's in my mental processes. And I like to idealize things based on what my heart desires more off of than what the actual reality is of my situation. And I have a lot of mental challenges because of that. So as I'm having these challenges, one thing that it's taught me is that when I get reality checks, it's okay, because that's just the universe watching out for me. So if you are feeling at peace, you have love, you have compassion for others, and you are aligning with this side of energy. The moon in Pisces is going to be conjunct Chiron in Pisces. It's going to be sextiling Mercury, sextiling Venus, and sextiling Pluto. In this energy, there is a great sense of peace as you're moving toward a goal that is intuitively gives you that feeling that you're changing your life for the better. So healing comes from, in these areas, in this high form of this vibration, you're moving away from suffering, you're moving toward healing, you're moving toward partnerships, a union that's feeding you, you're moving toward empowering thoughts, and you are changing your focus. And changing that focus is creating opportunity. If you are aligning with passion, drive, stamina, desire, and you are feeling the energy of Mars, instead of, you're not so much working on the psychological side and creating stability so you feel safe to move forward, you're feeling fire and passion and desire and just the ability to want to just embark and go to war and get what you want, then you're aligning yourself with Mars and Scorpio, which is sextiling Venus, Pluto, the North Node, and Jupiter, which is good too. So you feel compelled to make a commitment to attain and achieve something that has the possibility to give you great pleasure, power, precision, strength, and numbers. You're also accepting the responsibility of leading your outcome. You are not above persuasion, charming, enticing a potential partner, an authority figure, or a prominent figure to get what you want. You're a little seductive in this energy. You're a little manipulative maybe in this energy, which, by the way, isn't all bad. If you are out there to get what you want, sometimes we've got to do what we got to do, right? So I think for some of you, this is about looking at the idealistic side of your goal, and it's about fixating on that. It's about coming full circle, moving away from suffering and toward an outcome. This is about releasing yourself from feeling suppressed and like you've been wounded and like you don't have anything to give. You're moving away from relationships, situations, instability that causes you great suffering, and energy vampires that feed off you. And this is about moving toward, making that decision, feeling secure in the fact. This is about emotionally driven situations. The best way for us to gauge on whether we're doing the right thing is if intuitively and emotionally we feel like we're aligned with it. And I believe that that's going to be an excellent gauge for some of you if you're trying to make that all-time decision about how you want to progress. This is about transformation. This is about regenerating a situation. This is about looking at a goal from a different perspective. This is about Aquarian-based energy. This is about being there for others who are suffering, because you've been through that suffering before. You know how to endure it, and you can be a guide to people out of the darkness of their minds. The negative vibration, and there always is one, this week is just one of those weeks where you're either in tune with the light or you're in tune with the dark, because it's water energy. You're in tune with the turbulent water, or you're in tune with the smooth ride of life. Like, that's just what we're in, and that's just the reality. So the sun in Aquarius again, and Mars in Aquarius is going to be in one of those moods where they're going to be quincunxing Jupiter, quincunxing the North Node, and quincunxing Uranus in Aries. That's kind of a lot of quincunxes. And I feel quincunxes, so I talk a lot about it. Not all astrologers acknowledge quincunxes to the degree that I do, but since I have followed quincunxes, I understand when the energy is quincunxing me the frack out. And so I actually talk a lot about quincunxes because they kill me in energy. So the element of surprise today may make you have to move forward a bit of a challenge that may make you radically change the strategy that you hope that would produce results. So some of you may have been moving this way, and then something comes up today that radically changes the way that you have to pursue a goal. That's unsettling for control freaks. That's you know what? Adjusting to the degree that you're going to have to. This is like going 60 miles an hour and the car's stopping in front of you, you slamming on your brakes and getting caught in a traffic jam, but there's an exit over there, and if you could just wheel your way over there, you can exit and you can go because you got to go Mach 10 again. It's that kind of energy, very heightened, very stressful. The energy that's associated with it is still on the optimistic side. However, the detour may jolt your senses. It may be that rush of like negative and positive, which creates this like supernova catastrophe type feeling to it. An immediate jerk on just the immediate situation doesn't mean that the long term is going to be the jolt. It just means that immediate situation is crazy. It could mean that something affects your environment dramatically, which may change the way that you have to deal with what you want as a goal. Remember, these are all outer planets. When we're talking about Jupiter and we're talking about Uranus and we're talking about Aquarian-based stuff, we're talking about future, we're talking about global events, we're talking about environmental events. So for some of you that are working toward a goal, you've got to get to a meeting. It's on the line. You're going to, have a meeting with somebody where you're going to talk about the idea that you have. It could mean that, you know what, you have a storm that prevents you from getting to that meeting, because, you know, it's just that whole environmental effect that heightens the intensity of the situation. Doesn't mean that it changes the outcome or the goal essentially, but it just makes you have to be creative to get to that goal. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.